It's not the first time I've made a bad investment, probably not the last time, but luckily I make more good ones than bad ones, and I learn from my mistakes. What's going to happen now is there won't be another situation like this for institutional investors ever again.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Raoul Pal and Kevin O'Leary giving us their reaction to the recent collapse of FTX and why many investors are starting to panic. The crash in Bitcoin has been a significant event in the crypto space as well, but with major players like Ethereum still intact, FTX hasn't phased the dominant crypto assets. O'Leary discusses that a significant amount of inexperience also led to many of FTX's internal problems. He believes that the crypto market as a whole will be affected and is more adamant than ever that regulation needs to be expedited. He believes that the SEC is going to be taking a very close look at many tokens that have the same framework as FTX and lack of governance that is taking place. It's clear now that the warning signs of negligence may have been overlooked. Raoul Pal will also give us his market sentiment after the recent collapse of FTX and reminds investors of when this has happened before and where the crypto market is headed next. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Let's get right into the video.
You took this investment in international and U.S. I got to ask for your reaction today.
Obviously, one of frustration, there's no question about it. I'm still a huge advocate for the potential of blockchain and cryptocurrencies. I'm disappointed, like many other shareholders. It sets, in a way though, I always try and find what is the outcome of something like this. I mean, yes, I'm a shareholder in the international. That's a zero. It's not the first time I've made a bad investment, probably not the last time, but luckily I make more good ones than bad ones, and I learn from my mistakes. What's going to happen now is there won't be another situation like this for institutional investors ever again. We're simply not going to put capital to work until this stuff gets regulated. And what is occurring, and I'm just one voice in it, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to fly to Washington, and I want regulation. I want it now. No more delaying. I think this puts tremendous pressure on the SEC. I think a bill like the Stablecoin Transparency Act, which has been floating around forever, not going to signature, not going to markup, we got to stop doing this to ourselves. As an industry, it has to stop, but also it's time to move forward with regulation. And if this is the bottom of the crypto market. A massive player goes to zero, and now you build from the ashes. That's the upside. I am still going to invest in crypto. I lost money in the accounts there. They have a gate on them now. It doesn't stop me from buying more, and I'm going to do just that. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that most of these currencies and tokens and coins have absolutely been beaten into the ground as a result of this, and probably a buying opportunity. That's the way I look at it.
What do you need to see on paper before you would put fresh money into the space again? An actual bill?
Yes, I want to see it. I'd like to start with one thing. I don't think we can solve for every single asset in crypto. I want to do one thing, and that one thing is to pass the Stablecoin Transparency Act. One thing, because that allows us to use the US dollar as a payment system. I would use that in all of my businesses every day. It's far superior to ACH, far superior to SWIFT, far faster, more transparent, 100% auditable. All I need is the regulation that forces an audit every 30 days and guarantees me the backup for this is Treasury bills less than 12 months of duration. That's one thing. Very simple. That would signal to everybody around the world that regulators here in the United States are taking crypto on, starting to put rules in place, putting the guardrails on. No one is going to play ball anymore in this space on an institutional level with serious capital till we get it done.
I'm kind of stuck on your comment that you're so confident that this can be the bottom. How can you be confident of that? What do you know about CZ, Binance, BNB Coin? How do you know that it's not leveraged, that there are many more dominoes to fall here? We just had someone from another exchange who hasn't even published their board of directors. You invested in FTX, and that wasn't exactly a wise choice. You said you did due diligence, but clearly it wasn't enough.
You know, no. I mean, look, I'm going to agree. It was a terrible investment, 100%, and I lost my money. I get it. I'm a diversified investor. I make mistakes. This is one of them. But I learn from my mistakes. This won't be happening again. If I'm going to put serious capital to work in a broker-dealer, in an exchange, it's going to be one that's regulated, that has transparency, and has the same rules of test that every other exchange that deals in stocks and bonds has. Because, everybody's saying the same thing. It's great to be a retail investor and trade a few $1,000s worth of crypto. And if that's what Binance is going to do, good for them. But every single institutional investor is going to look at this and say, okay, can't play with this structure anymore because there's not enough transparency. I'm going to wait for the SEC or whoever it is going to be, the Fed or whoever, to regulate this stuff. This is actually a turning point for this industry. It's a maturation for this industry. That's what's going to happen.
O'Leary recently posted to Instagram reminding investors that bad ideas will destroy companies, and the sooner you realize it, the better it is for you and your future. He's met many entrepreneurs who have the passion and even the work ethic to succeed, but who are so obsessed with an idea that they don't see its flaws. Raoul Pal echoes that sentiment, posting a series of tweets after the collapse of FTX and keying investors in that he's went through something like this before. If it's any consolation, myself and many others went through something very similar to FTX back in 2011. MF Global, one of the largest futures brokerages in the world, run by superstar ex-Goldman CEO Jon Corzine, collapsed in a very similar manner to FTX. Brokerages must segregate customer and house funds. Corzine decided to take $6.5 billion of debt of EU government bonds, which went wrong. The issue was that he did it with customer money. Losses were estimated at near $2 billion. All customer positions were frozen. It took about 7 years for us all to get 93% of our money back. If I remember rightly, we got the first 50% back pretty fast, which I was grateful for. It was my entire trading account. Many hedge funds and asset management firms got trapped too. It was a total disaster. But it wasn't the end of futures brokers or the future markets. Markets recovered quickly. MF Global soon disappeared from the headlines as yet another financial collapse in a history of so many over the last 100 years that we can't count. Humans leverage greed endlessly. Hopefully all of you affected will get most of your money back as soon as possible, maybe all of it. I know how frightening it is and how angry you feel. I know it is no real help that many of us have been through the same, but maybe it's something. The crypto markets will move on, and sooner than you expect, most likely. They've already faced many such events, but this was the largest, as MF Global was in futures brokers. This was not a crypto story, but a story of traditional finance masquerading as something else. What do you guys think about Kevin O'Leary and Raoul Pal's investment advice after the recent collapse? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Library of Wealth. We'll see you in the next video.